Welcome to our winter-themed edition of On the Shelf. I'm Kat, and with me today is Brittany. I'm so excited to share some books that we have available on the shelf for you to come in today and pick up. So let's get started. This is my first pick for today. This is a YA book called My True Love Gave to Me, and it's written by various authors. If you love holiday stories, holiday movies, made-for-TV holiday specials, especially if you love holiday anthologies, you're going to fall in love with My True Love Gave to Me, 12 Holiday Stories by 12 best-selling YA authors. So there's so many of them in here, Rainbow Rowell, David Levithan, Kelly Link, and they're all edited by the international best-selling author Stephanie Perkins. So whether you celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah, winter solstice or Kwanzaa, there's something in here for everybody. So curl up by the fireplace and get cozy. You have 12 reasons this season to stay home and read a book.
That sounds like a great selection to kick off our winter selections, Kat. All right, so the next book that I will be suggesting is called Preserving Family Recipes, How to Save and Celebrate Your Food Traditions by Valerie J. Frey. This is a nonfiction book, and I'm tying it into our winter theme because, you know, around this time of year, the thing that's nearest and dearest to most of us, I'm sure, is gathering with our families, thinking about our loved ones. And I thought this was such a neat and special way to get connected to those things. Now, this book is a guide for gathering, adjusting, supplementing, and safely preserving family recipes. It also gives you tips on interviewing relatives, collecting oral histories, and conducting kitchen visits to document family food traditions. It's really neat because it contains recipes, tips on preserving recipe cards and cookbooks. There's information about regional or world recipes, how to deal with recipes in the non-English languages. And there's even a really neat section at the back called Exploring Recipe History. And the author in particular looks at the evolution of biscuits, which I'm sure each family has their own variation of. So just a really neat book, a great, especially for the holiday season.
That sounds amazing. I know at the holidays, pulling out those family recipes that you've made 1,000 times really is special. So then what a great pick for this month. The next selection is Christmas at Little Beach Street Bakery. This is one of those cozy holiday books that you can settle down by the tree with. Let's see, it says, in a Cornish coastal village, the Christmas season has arrived. It's a joyous time for families and friends and feasting as decorations sparkle along the town's winding streets and shop windows glow with festive displays. And Polly's Little Beach Street Bakery, the aroma of gingerbread cookies and other treats tempt people in from the cold. So Polly's busy keeping up with the demands of the season, and she's especially happy to be celebrating the holiday with her boyfriend and can't wait to cuddle up in front of the fireplace with eggnog on Christmas Eve. But holiday bliss soon gives way to panic when a storm cuts the village off from the mainland, and now it will take all of the villagers working together in order to ensure that everyone has a happy holiday. So this seems like a book that you can just set aside the worries of cooking and shopping and just settle down and enjoy a nice little Christmas read.
I love it. Kat, I'm noticing a theme here. I think both you and I think about food and holiday treats around this time of year because I too have a second food-related. Okay. Hopefully we're giving patrons enough of a variety here, but the next selection that I'll be suggesting is actually a graphic novel related to food, and it's called Cook Korean, a comic book with recipes by Robin Ha. This is actually one of our new graphic novel collection pieces that came in recently. And to me, this is just such a great reminder that adult graphic novels are not just superhero comics. We have so many different selections that combine art and text in such a unique and beautiful way. And this is one of those. So this book has delicious step-by-step recipes with illustrations. There's an introduction to and insight about Korean culture. And there are some really beautiful pages in here. Things like Korean ingredient staples that everyone should have in their fridge. Or these beautiful pages of colored recipes with stories. Let me take my Post-it off here so you can see a little bit more clearly. With the author herself included. And each of the sections are categorized by type of recipe. So you'll notice a different type of art here. I just was so fascinated with this book. you know, because of the art and the culture and the different recipes involved. And I thought it would be great because when I think of Korean food, I think of warm and spicy, perfect for a winter's day or evening. So definitely check this one out.
Sounds wonderful. And if you're not the type of person who enjoys the sweetness of the season, because there can be an awful lot of it, whether it's treats that you're eating or just the nonstop holiday music, I've got Blue Monday by Nicci French, which does take place during the winter. It's a very cold book. I read it before. It was fascinating, but it's about Frida Klein. She's a solitary, incisive psychotherapist who spends her sleepless nights walking along the ancient rivers of modern London. She believes that the world is a messy and uncontrollable place, but what we can control is inside of our heads. And this attitude is reflected in her own life, which is austere and one of personal integrity and order. So imagine her shock when when there's a young boy that goes missing in London, and one of her patients is describing wanting to parent a child who looks exactly like this boy that's missing. And so she needs to go to the police with what she knows and help them out and see what exactly is going on. Did this man take this child? Who knows? But there is a missing 5-year-old. This book is, it's very chilly. It takes place in a cold place during a cold time. It's a dark crime thriller. So if you are looking to get away from all the sugar of the season, this is a good choice for you. Blue Monday by Nicci French.
I love that analogy there, Kat. Great thinking. So the next thing that I'll be suggesting is actually a CD, some music rather than the book. You know, in addition to our physical library of books, we have so many great formats of materials. And I just wanted to give a reminder of that. So for this holiday season, I will be suggesting the CD called Forest by George Winston. For those of you that don't know George Winston, he's a contemporary pianist. Absolutely beautiful instrumental music that I think, you know, just like Kat's first book, is good for all belief systems, all holidays that you're celebrating, no matter what you have going on, whether you want to intently listen or just have something calming in the background. I would highly suggest this one. This one has, you know, things that tie into our winter selection. Some of the tracks are called Cloudy This Morning, Building the Snowman, and the Snowman's Music Box Dance, in addition to others. So if you haven't checked out George Winston, I highly suggest it. And this one in particular, Forest, is a great one for the season.
That sounds beautiful. I may check that one out first before anyone else can get to it. And during the holidays, we cannot forget New Year's. So we have this one, Rules of Civility by Amor, Towles. On the last night of 1937, 25-year-old Katie is in a second-rate Greenwich Village jazz bar when Tinker Gray, a handsome banker, happens to sit down at the neighboring table. This chance encounter and its startling consequences propel Katie on a year-long journey into the upper echelons of New York society, where she will have little to rely upon other than her bracing wit and her own brand of cool nerve. With its sparkling depiction of New York social strata, its intricate imagery and themes, and its immensely appealing characters, Rules of Civility won the hearts of readers and critics alike. It sounds like it's a great book if you're preparing for a new year. It sounds like it's sparkling like champagne, so get ready for New Year's Eve.
I love it. Sounds like a great one. I'll have to put that on my list, Kat. All right, so my final selection that I will be talking about is The Kindest Lie by Nancy Johnson. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the book, and then I'm going to talk about why this one in particular is special. So, The Kindest Lie is the story of a woman preparing to have her first child with a husband she adores, but first she must confront that she already has a son, a baby she was forced to give up when she was a teenager. Returning to the Indiana town where she grew up, Ruth, the main character, an Ivy League educated Black woman, begins digging into the past and unexpectedly befriends a young white boy who is also adrift and looking for connection. This book explores the divide between Black and white communities, the struggle of ordinary Americans in the wake of the 2008 financial crisis. It captures the racial injustices and class inequalities that affect U.S. society. This book offers an unflinching view of motherhood in contemporary America and the never-ending quest to achieve the American dream. So a really popular book, definitely a great read. And the reason that I'm highlighting it today, well, first, because it takes place around the holidays, Christmas to New Year's. And the other reason is because this is one of our titles available via our Book Club in a Bag program. So for those of you that aren't familiar, what that means is, and I've got the bag here to show you, if you are interested in holding a book club at your house with family, friends, neighbors, you can check out this kit and have everything you need to do so. It comes with 8 copies of the book, a way for you to track which of your friend or family members has that book. It comes with a folder that includes reading discussion questions so that you can really dive in and have a really fruitful discussion after you and your group have read this book. If you're interested for this title or others, please ask library staff at the front desk or any of the desks really about our book club in a bag. All right, so that's all I have, Kat. Anything else to tie up?
No, I'm just really excited about that book club in a bag. We do have 4 bags available, so come in and ask for those titles. And thank you so much for showcasing that.
Yes, absolutely. I just think it's such a great program we have. It's slowly gaining steam. So I just wanted to make sure that we have an opportunity to explain it to patrons that aren't quite familiar or that haven't had a chance to check it out for themselves. So thank you all so much for joining us today. Kat and I just absolutely love doing On the Shelf. We hope that if you check out any of these items, you enjoy them as much as we think you will, or as much as we did. And for other upcoming program, just a reminder to keep your eye on our website calendar at tularepubliclibrary.org, where we do have all of our in-person and virtual programs listed there. Thank you all so much for joining us. Happy winter, happy holidays, everything that comes with that.
That's right.
See you next time. Bye.